Welcome back to season one. This is episode 9 with Helen King. And our topic for today is, what do you want to be? So we're going to talk about career and full self-expression and your thoughts on what we do for a living.
Well, when I was younger, I would never say what I wanted to be, who I wanted to be. At the time, women could be teachers or nurses, and I had no idea what else that was. Then when I was a senior, in the yearbook, I wrote that I wanted to be a foreign correspondent because I wanted to travel and see the world. Well, I did a few things. I was a secretary for a Girl Scout council, and then I worked as in a hospital. I can't think what the name of it is. Taking the money.
Cashier?
Yeah, billing.
Billing.
And taking the money. Then I went to Penn State and took psychology for a while, and left and got married. 25 years in a marriage, and during that time I love flowers, I love nature, and so I became a florist part-time and at several different places, but it still wasn't me who I wanted to be. So then I worked running the office for a family business, and people kept coming to me and asking me questions and what to do about this or that, and I seemed to have answers that helped. So more and more and more, and it was like, quit your job and follow your spiritual path full time. So I did that in 1979, and I knew if I was very frugal, I had enough money to last for 1 year. And I felt I deserved a chance to do that. So I invested a lot of time and energy in introspection and understanding spiritual principles, universal principles, and I have built a career on that. And I think that all the information is within and around you, all that you will ever need, when you take the time and make the effort to explore that, to listen. And as I unfolded in more awareness, it just seems so obvious. And I realized that I had been tuning in to this all my life. I just didn't have words for it. So then I had to learn a whole vocabulary for understanding universal principles. So as I applied them in my life, things just unfolded easily. I decided I wanted to travel. So people heard about me in other countries, all word of mouth. And many places I went and taught seminars and did counseling, and I've had as many as several hundred people and giving a lecture. And I often work through an interpreter, and that's when you know you're on target because you have no idea what the person is thinking except from the spiritual level, and to maintain your continuity as you're being interpreted in your enthusiasm. And so, and I knew that I wasn't getting it, quote, from the person, because I don't speak the different languages. Only heart speak in English. Mm-hmm. So things just kept unfolding. And I learned so many different ways to connect to that, and then I wanted to share it, so I would learn how to to put it into words, into the vocabulary. The universe usually communicates in symbols, and there are the universal symbols, and then there are the personal symbols. And personal symbols are things that you have experienced in your lifetime that were meaningful. So what a dog means to me doesn't necessarily mean what a dog means to you. Or what money in the bank means to you doesn't necessarily mean to me, because of experiences that we have had around those situations. So you know when you feel complete, whole, satisfied in the job that you're doing. When you have a career that provides the money for you to live on and you're happy about it, you're twice blessed. So many people start out doing something until, well, then they get caught because they don't feel they can break away. But the wise person does. I've done a lot of things that I didn't necessarily want to do, but I knew that it met my needs for now and it was taking me to where I wanted to be. So look at your career, and you have many careers. You have the career in your home, your family. You have your career in the community. You have your career in whatever your spiritual source is. And so how can you tell when you're satisfied? Well, your body just kind of relaxes and is at ease and you feel comfortable.
It seems you were so focused on, this is what I want to do and I'm going to do it. You didn't expect, okay, universe, I'm just going to quit my job with no money in the bank and go out and run and do things. You had taken care of yourself for a limited number of months, a year, and you decided to do this. So you set yourself up to win.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I, as I said, I had a plan. And I wanted to see if it would work.
Yeah.
And if it didn't work, I could tweak it until it did work.
Yeah.
And I wondered why something didn't happen in my life, because I felt I deserved it. And I was reminded that 7 years earlier, I had been presented with an opportunity that I didn't recognize and accept.
Oh, okay.
So I started saying, I recognize opportunities. And I started saying yes to all kinds of things.
Well, what if you have too many opportunities? I'm thinking of a term that Marie Forleo uses. She describes herself as a multifaceted entrepreneur. How can we be successful at a variety of things and still maintain focus? It seems like, well, people often will say when they're trying to get a business started, you have to focus on this. This is all you do. How can you be multifaceted and still have the success that you've had?
I think you prioritize. What is the most important thing to do now? And if it's put food on the table, you do something to get food on the table. And if those things are in place, in other words, if your bills are being paid, then you focus on, I want to things. And you look at them and what do I want to do most? Then you focus on that. There are all kinds of ways that people spend their discretional monies, I guess they call it, don't they? And what kind of crafts or sports or
a lot
whatever.
of people carry in a cup their discretional money.
Yes.
Very expensive luxury there.
But by the same token, there are a lot of things that are free.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a lot of free things for quite some time and felt very happy about it.
So when you said free, you made me think of something else. So let's shift gears, if you don't mind, for just a second. when we are free of the responsibility of going to work 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, or when we've decided that the career that we've created for us on our own is over, when we get to that age of retirement or rewirement, at that point, what does that mean? When we get to a point where we are, I don't want to say winding down our life, but we have an X amount of years on this planet and this body. So when we're getting to the end of that, then what happens?
Then you get to do all the things you want to do.
Which
And
for you should be really exciting because you spent your whole life doing that.
Well, when something gets presented to you, you can say, is this something I want to do? And it's either a yes or a no. If it's a maybe, think on it a while. And if you're honest with yourself, you will know. And maybe it's a yes. Well, give it a try. No, I don't really want to do this. Mm-hmm. And then there's some things you'll say, I don't want to do this, but my family wants me to, so I'll go with them and do it. Well, you end up you're the one that carries it through for years. That's the way it was with jewelry. I went with my daughter and my sister they wanted to go to a jewelry place and learn how to make something and say, well, maybe Mom would like this. So I went, I learned, and I've been doing it now for like 12 years. Mm-hmm. Thousands and thousands of pieces of jewelry. And then I get to give it away, share it. And so it's fulfilling, but now it's not quite the excitement that it used to be. But I will still do it. As you know, travel was a biggie, but I did what I called vocation vacation. Every time I went to teach, I did a vacation with it. As long as you're there, do something. And so, along with that is I wanted to travel, so I put all my money into a fund for travel. Okay. I stopped buying too many clothes. I stopped buying too expensive foods. I stopped eating out only on special occasions. So it's where do you focus your time, energy, and money? And what is important to you? I know people would like to do what I've done, but they're not willing to make the changes in their lifestyle.
I was just thinking
that would
of
allow
that.
it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that same thing. That's
what's your priority, and that's what it's all about. What is your major focus? And just because someone you would like to travel with can't for some reason because they don't have the time or the money or they can't leave their house or they can't be away from their family, whatever. I decided what I want to do and I go. I know sometimes people say, well, what does your family say? And I said, I don't know, I don't ask them.
That's wise advice in any case.
Because they do what they want to do without asking me, so why would I feel that I had to get approval for being me? Mm-hmm. That's what it amounts to. Can you allow me to be me? Of course, I can allow you to be you too.
I've heard that when some people do retire, they've told me, I feel I've got all this free time and I feel guilty about doing things I want.
No. I will say I did a little bit of thinking when I sat down on a Monday morning at 9 o'clock to read a book. But I do it readily now. I still work. I still do some things, but it's by choice. And it needs to be for a specific reason, because somebody needs something or because I feel a push to do something, to share something. And I find that because money is not the issue that it used to be, I give away a lot. And in the giving away, it comes back to me in another way, over and over again. And sometimes I just have to smile at how well that works. You know, as you give, so you shall receive, and being a good giver also presents the opportunity to be a good receiver. You know, we, especially women, are learning to receive. Men don't seem to have any problem with asking what they want for what they want. It seems like women are learning more how to do that. So I used to watch a role model and see how he stood and words he used, and there you go. I'm getting very good at it.
Yes, you are.
So
Thank you so much for being with us again.
you're welcome.